Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today we will journey through Cleopatra by H. Rider Haggard. Cleopatra by H. Rider Haggard, published in 1889, is a historical novel that weaves a thrilling tale set in ancient Egypt. The story is narrated from the perspective of Harmachis, an Egyptian prince and priest of Isis, chosen by the gods to overthrow Cleopatra and reclaim Egypt for its native people. This work combines action, adventure, and romance, with vivid depictions of Egypt's rich culture, spirituality, and political turmoil during Cleopatra's reign. Plot summary. In the deep recesses of the Libyan mountains, hidden behind the Temple of Abydos, a tomb was discovered. Inside, ancient papyrus rolls were found, detailing a tale of betrayal, love, and the destiny of a young Egyptian prince named Harmachis. He, the last descendant of Egypt's ancient royal line, was chosen by the gods for a sacred mission: to overthrow Cleopatra, rid Egypt of its foreign rulers, and restore the old glory of the pharaohs. Harmachis was raised in secrecy by his father, Amenemhat, the high priest of Isis, and schooled in the ways of the gods and kings. His entire life was a preparation for one purpose: to reclaim Egypt from the rule of the Macedonian Ptolemies. Harmachis was taught to despise the foreign influence that had polluted the purity of Egypt's ancient traditions. His father instilled in him the solemn weight of his destiny, reminding him constantly that he was not merely a man, but the vessel of the gods' will. When Harmachis reached manhood, his time came to act. A grand plot had been laid out. Cleopatra, the queen of Egypt, would be lured into a trap, and Harmachis would strike, leading a revolution that would restore Egypt to its rightful rulers. Armed with his faith and the knowledge of his divine mission, Harmachis journeyed to Alexandria, disguised as a scholar. In the heart of Cleopatra's court, he met the queen herself. Cleopatra's beauty was unlike anything Harmachis had ever seen. She was as alluring as the legends said, her charm irresistible. Though he had been warned of her wiles, though his heart was steeled for his mission, Harmachis found himself bewitched by her presence. Cleopatra was not merely a queen, she was the embodiment of seduction and power. Her sharp intellect and boundless charisma ensnared all who came near her. For Harmachis, the effect was devastating. Despite his sacred oath, Harmachis faltered. In Cleopatra's presence, he became weak. The queen, sensing the young priest's internal struggle, began to manipulate him. She flattered him, coaxed him into her confidence, and soon, Harmachis found himself falling hopelessly in love with her. His once clear path blurred with doubt. He who had been chosen to destroy Cleopatra was now captivated by her beauty and majesty. In a moment of weakness, Harmachis confided in Cleopatra. He revealed the entire plot to overthrow her, believing that love had conquered his mission, that together they could reign. But Cleopatra was not one to share power. As soon as Harmachis exposed the conspiracy, Cleopatra seized control. She laughed at his foolishness, calling upon her guards. Harmachis, the would-be pharaoh, was cast into chains, his mission shattered by his own betrayal. Cleopatra did not kill him. Instead, she stripped him of his dignity and power, mocking the gods he once served so fervently. Harmachis was spared the death he had earned because Cleopatra found his destruction more delicious in life. She watched as the man who was once destined to rule Egypt became her pawn, utterly broken by his failure. Harmachis was imprisoned, left to live in the shadow of the queen who had conquered him not with armies, but with love. In the dungeon where he languished, Harmachis was tormented by guilt. The weight of his betrayal crushed him, and the gods he had forsaken offered no solace. His father, Amenemhat, died of a broken heart, knowing that his son had failed, that Egypt's last hope had crumbled. In Harmachis's chest, a flame of regret burned, but it was too late. His chance to save Egypt had passed, and now the foreign Ptolemies and the rising power of Rome would shape Egypt's fate. Years passed. In the twilight of his life, Harmachis was released from his prison, but he was a shadow of the man he once had been. He wandered through the ruins of his failed life, watching as Cleopatra's rule brought Egypt further into the grasp of the Romans. Though Cleopatra herself would later meet a tragic end, her legacy lived on, while Harmachis's name was forgotten by history. As he neared the end of his days, Harmachis wrote down his account of his life, his rise, his betrayal, and his fall. He spoke of the gods and their distant will, of how destiny can be corrupted by the desires of the flesh. He lamented the weakness that had turned him from his path and confessed his sins to those who might listen. His was a tale of ruin, a testament to how the mightiest of men can fall prey to temptation. Though the gods had chosen him for greatness, Harmachis had failed not only Egypt, but also himself. In the end, Harmachis died, a broken man, his soul condemned to wander in the shadows, far from the throne he had once been destined to claim. The gods, in their mercy, did not destroy him, but neither did they forgive. His name would never again be spoken among the great, and Egypt's destiny was forever altered by his failure. If you loved this, don't stop here. Check out other books by Haggard. You'll find them below or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Haggard's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.